Hey, little birdie. Don't feel down. Come and perch on my shoulder. Don't be shy. I'll show you around town. Really? No wonder they never pay attention to me. Forget it. I probably shouldn't be anthropomorphizing them anyway. Haven't seen you in some time. To which one of the Animo Archon's winds do I owe the honor? Oh, is this your way of saying that you missed me? Since it wasn't meant to be with this little birdie, I'd better leave it alone. Let's take a walk, shall we? If you're wondering why I'm here, Jean's been worrying about trade safety recently. I discovered this when I unwittingly burst into her office to save the day. Another job involving long-distance travel falls to me. I suppose it's my own fault for having such a strong sense of duty. Still, on the bright side, business is now taken care of. And I have unused travel funds, so I was planning to...
Gundafar, we are in the middle of a war. Your place is at the front lines by my son's side. Pray tell, what provokes your unwarranted return to the palace?
A matter of utmost importance, Your Majesty, such that I must personally report it to you.
Huh. Outdoor theater. Looks fun. Actually, yes. I saw some guards do a musical performance when I was traveling with their caravan in Sumeru. They were desert dwellers. So are these actors. And I think I actually recognize one of them. Come on, let's go watch.
Your Majesty, not only has God bestowed the throne upon you, but your beloved son, Prince Kubad, has led our brave warriors to victory against Frasyav's army. His men have laid down their arms and fled. Frasyav's brazen ambition is no more. He has bowed his head and now presents to your Majesty an offering of treasures and hostages, as well as a plea for peace. My king, this battle has finally restored the dignity of our people. Moreover, with Frasyav's offer of land comes the opportunity to expand our borders, as your Majesty so greatly wishes. His Highness the Prince and I believe this peace settlement will be a great boon to our nation. It is for this reason alone that I have removed my armor and made haste back to our halls from the front lines. My king, what say you to this proposal?
Ah, it's the tale of Prince Kubad. Ever heard this one? Don't worry, I still remember the general plot. Let me fill you in on the background while the king deliberates. The main characters are the brilliant Prince Kubad and his war-hungry father, King Kabus. The one talking to the king right now is Gundafar, the prince's tutor. When the prince was young, the king was deceived by a malicious rumor that the prince had mistreated his stepmother. He demanded that the prince walk through a blazing fire to prove his innocence. Miraculously, the prince emerged unscathed, thus proving his innocence. But the seeds of doubt had already been sown in the king's mind. Now uneasy in the presence of his mistrustful father, the prince requested to be sent away to the battlefield where he would fight against Frasyav's army. That's the enemy general we heard them mention just now. This is the part where the prince has won the war and decided to forge a peace with the rival nation. He wrote a letter recommending peace to his father. Oh, it looks like the king's made up his mind. Let's keep watching.
Frosyav lost because he did not have the blessing of God. Our God will always watch over us and punish our enemies. Once the bells of war have begun to toll, they shall not cease until the blood of our enemies fills the land. There can be no victory until the last enemy soldier has fallen. If Kubad still wishes to be my son and hold the intaglio I bestowed upon him as proof of his royal blood, then he must obey my command.
Your Majesty, I must caution that a nation destroyed is not a fallen city writ large. Now, the loss of one city strikes fear into the hearts of our enemies, compelling them to accept defeat and cede land in exchange for peace. If, however, we insist on bringing a whole nation to its knees, then so long as a single person is left standing, they will see us as their sworn enemy, and one day return to us tenfold the pain that we have inflicted on their nation and family. My king, a people is to their nation as wild grass to the open prairie. Though we burn down the whole field and spare not one blade of grass, roots continue to grow unseen beneath the surface. Come the spring, it is all but inevitable that fresh green shoots will rise up from the ashes.
Cease, Gundafar. Your mind grows dull in your old age, filled with naive delusions. We shall have no more need of you on the battlefield. As for my son Kubad, I will summon him back to the capital, so he may be tried by a court-martial.
What are you saying, my noble king? Why must you mistrust your own flesh and blood and sink ever deeper into the blight of hatred? When he was falsely accused, you once doubted his honor and made him walk through a raging fire. Did he not prove himself worthy by emerging unharmed from the flames? Now you would turn me away when I seek only to provide the wisdom of counsel. What is the justification for this?
The justification is that my word, not yours, is the law of the land. Cease and be gone, Gundafar, so you may spend the rest of your days with your wife.
What has become of the king that I served with my life? Fanaticism has robbed him of all reason and wisdom. Peace is surely the most favorable path for our nation, yet he refuses to accept it.
I must think of a way to seize control of the army back from the hands of my wayward son, that they might continue the fight to the end. Perhaps the first task should be this. I shall send a loyal contingent of warriors to eliminate Frosyav and the hostages he has sent to our palace.
Brilliant acting, Darbil.
I saw you approaching us in the middle of the scene. I was worried that my performance would be subpar and you'd think I was just making a fool of myself.
Not at all. Far from it. Actually, let me introduce you. This is Darbil, the actor for King Caboose. When we first got to know each other, he was still a guard for one of the merchant caravans. Seems like he's now made the switch to full-time acting.
Nice to meet you. Any friend of Kaeya's is a friend of mine. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't making all that much as a mercenary. It felt right to me to get away from the danger and live a more stable life. I was already pretty good at telling stories, so I just recruited a few friends and started performing shows all over the country. Full disclosure, we had to put this little stage together using whatever wood and cloth we could borrow. It's really low budget. Anyway, we're all good enough at acting to get through the motions, but none of us are any good at coming up with a script. Everything we tried to write just sounded off somehow. So I got a student from the academia to adapt an old story I knew to make it more appealing to our audience. What do you think? Passable?
I could tell that you've had someone tighten up the lines. They turned out very nicely.
That's good. Well, as you can see, even now, we still don't have much of an audience. Don't suppose you'd be interested to see the rest of the show?
Sure, why not? I don't have anything pressing lined up. And I don't think the Traveler does either. Tickets for 2, please. How much would that be?
There's no need for tickets. You could just get some food from Jafar Tavern. We've worked out an arrangement with them. We've actually found a sponsor for this performance, too. He's not too happy about the poor turnout, though. I doubt we'll be able to keep him for the next performance. A real pity. But what can you do, huh?
Darbil Asgar still hasn't shown up for the next scene. We should get his costume and sword out so they'll be ready to go the moment he gets here.
My apologies. I have to get ready for the upcoming scene. I'll see you from the stage.
Would you two like to order some food? What can I get you? If you're looking for recommendations, today's special is the tandoori roast chicken.
Ah, bear with us a moment. We're just going to take a look at the menu. I was at Port Ormos discussing some business opportunities, and some crook was trying to pull a fast one on me. Darbil took pity on me and politely asked him to make himself scarce. He's a good guy, a decent storyteller too. Quite an interesting character. There's a lot of fun to be had if you hang around interesting people doing interesting things. Especially if you're in the company of an interesting friend. That's my secret formula for staying in a good mood. Try it out sometime. You'll see what I mean. Thanks for waiting. We're ready to order now. We'll take you up on that tandoori roast chicken. And let's throw in some desserts, too. One each of the rose custard, that tulumba, and the patisara pudding, please. That should see us through the show.
Your food's on the way.
We've got good seats, close to the stage, but also not too crowded. We can watch the show as we eat. If I remember correctly, the next scene should focus on the prince. But I won't spoil it for you. You have to experience it for yourself. You could say that. It's always stayed with me because it's hammered home a cruel but realistic truth. People do not choose where and when to be born. Yet the circumstances of their birth define the choices that they will have for the rest of their life.
Here you are. The check's on the table, too. Just call me over when you're ready to settle up.
No need. I'll pay up front. Here. Keep the change.
Thank you, sir. Oh, but this is too generous.
Call it a token of my gratitude for the excellent service. The food all smells wonderful, too. So please pass my compliments to the chef.
Thank you so much, sir.
Let's dig in, traveler.
Hey, Kaeya. I'm so sorry, but the actor who plays the prince has run into some difficulties and won't be able to make it. We can't do the rest of the show without him, so I'm really, really sorry, but we'll have to call the show right here.
Ooh, that would be fun. I wouldn't say no. Darbil, would you lose any income if I were to mess this up?
Not really. I mean, there's not much of an audience here anyway. I wouldn't want to take too much of your time, though.
Don't worry about that. I like to be spontaneous now and then. Spice things up a little.
Let me think. Well, you already know the story, so you just need to memorize a few lines. You know what? This might actually work. Ah, wait, but Kuban has a specific costume he's supposed to wear, and there's no way you'd fit into it. Switching actors is one thing, but wearing street clothes on stage would really ruin the immersion. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work.
Well, good thing that I've actually got a costume with me. It goes pretty well with your stage, too.
You're kidding. Can you show it to me?
Sure. If you can show me the way to your changing room?
It's in the restaurant. Follow me.
Gotta say, I think I actually look pretty dapper in this. It's a pity I don't have many opportunities to wear it in public. Uh-oh, not a fan of me as a prince? I'll have to act my heart out so you'll be too dazzled to make any digs.
Kaeya, here's your script for the next scene. It's not too long, but you also don't have very long to prepare. Do you think you can memorize your lines in time?
Only one way to find out.
Okay, I think we've covered all your lines and movements on stage. You haven't had long to prepare, so don't worry about forgetting your lines. We'll remind you.
All right, I'm good to go.
Great. Then let's get this show on the road.
General Kubad, son of Kabus, the fate of this battle is clear. I beg you, please spare my few remaining men. They no longer have the strength to fight back.
Frasiav, though you now lead only the husk of a once mighty army, I have no desire to crush your dignity. Even your most savage warriors have no desire to see further bloodshed, and none among your ranks have opposed these peace talks. Nevertheless, I must hear it from you one final time. General Frasiav, do you agree to sign a treaty in good faith and commit from this day forth to peace between our nations?
With my army in ruins, I am in no position to do otherwise. But on this, I give you my word. Yes, let us end our hostilities and send our surviving men home to their families.
We share the desire to lay down our arms for good and liberate our hearts from the dirge of hatred. Then as God above is our witness, by the authority vested in me by this intaglio of King Kabus, I hereby declare that I will spare your hostages and what remains of your army. May peace be restored to this land, and may these fields of war become a place where crops grow aplenty. My tutor, Gundafar, has already made haste to my father, the king, with the recommendation of a truce. It is my sincere hope that he will see that peace as a path to prosperity and grant me his blessing.
Prince Kubad, your name is renowned throughout your land and ours. I will place my hope in your words.
One will find on a battlefield no master of ceremonies, nor the paper on which a treaty may be signed. In their absence, let us raise our weapons and swear an oath. I, Kubad, son of Kabus, hereby pledge protection to you and all of your kin. May the oceans be stained red with my blood if I am ever to renounce this oath.
Wow, your friend is so dreamy. He's not a real prince by any chance, is he? Hey, Rashana, you don't want to miss this. The good-looking guy who left that huge tip is acting on stage with Darbel's troupe.
Darbel's one lucky man.
I return, Your Highness. I hope I'm not too late. Have you already promised peace to Frasiav?
Nay, I am not so rash as to preempt my father's blessing. I promised only what I could so far, the safety of his kin.
My child, I must share with you the gravest news. Kabus has become blinded by fanaticism and hatred, and will stop at nothing to vanquish every last man under Frasiav's lead.
How can this be? You mean to say that my father has rejected our proposal for peace?
He has indeed. I urged him to reconsider, and for this I was rebuked and dismissed from his service. But far stricter punishment than this awaits you, should you return home with your troops. Please heed my warnings, dear child. I dare not imagine what unspeakable atrocities your father intends to commit.
Nay, the truce must stand. I cannot renounce my oath. How can man claim to stand above beast without remaining true to his word? The masses have grown weary of death and conflict in both our nation and theirs. Are we all now to bend to his will and massacre countless more to satisfy a desire that is his alone? When I departed my beloved home to fight in a foreign land, I did so to honor his wishes and for my duty to our people. Alas, is this fate's grand design? Is this fate's grand design?
Kaeya! The next line is, "Alas, is this fate's grand design, that I should spend the rest of my days in a foreign land, till I am laid to rest in a grave far from home?"
Must it be so?
Huh? Wait, that's not part of the script. Kaeya, did you not hear me?
My dear audience, I ask you this. Do you believe in fate? If fate decreed that your life was to end in tragedy, what would you do? Oh? Then so must it be. Yes, so must it be. I shall discard this intaglio and rid myself of the shackles of fate.
Wait, but that's not... My dear prince, do you intend to betray your father and abandon your heritage?
Fate means to send the machinations of war to every corner of the land, to fan the flames of conflict till they engulf the entire world. Fate would see my sword tainted with the blood of innocence, that the bright banner of my homeland might fly in every nation known to mankind. But I shall not bow to the will of fate. I am no pawn in heaven's plan.
Bravo! Where did this guy come from? Is he one of the new hires?
Shut up. Stop interrupting.
I, Kubad, will spend the rest of my days in a foreign land, till I breathe my last in a place far from home.
Oh, at least he brought it back in the end.
Prince Kubad, my child, there is no need to be rash. Please bring at least your fortune and the retainers who will always be loyal to you.
Gundafar, my dear mentor, you have always been like a father to me. It brings me only anguish to bid you farewell, but I must walk this path, or freedom dies by my hand. Goodbye, my tribe and kin. Farewell, sweet land of my birth.
Goodbye, my child.
Ooh, it's Prince Kubad. Could I please get your autograph?
Why, certainly, ma'am.
Ooh, thank you. I'll just go find a pen.
Feeling more like a fan now? Acting is quite fun. If there ever came a day when I left the Knights of Favonius, I think I might go into acting full-time.
Darbil, could you introduce me to this young man?
My apologies, Master Toos. I somehow missed you in the crowd earlier.
I was some distance away. I just came over near the end after I noticed a large crowd gathered around the stage. The performance was outstanding across the board. I knew that the poor turnout over the past few days was just bad luck. It was only ever a matter of time before you hit it big. The improvised section was particularly good. I think you could include some improvisation as a staple in future performances. As for the prop he threw, no need to get it back. It's fairly cheap anyway.
Thank you, sir. And a big thanks also to our wonderful prince. Had Kaeya not agreed to fill in, he might have disbanded right on the spot.
Kaeya, was it? Well, young man, I must say you've made quite the impression on me. My caravan is always loaded with the finest food and wines. You're welcome to visit at any time.
Thank you for the invite, sir, but I'm afraid I've reached the end of my time at Sumeru. I'm sure that my friends and family in Mondstadt must be missing me terribly.
Well then, consider it an open invitation. Once you've been bitten by the travel bug, my friend, you'll be getting itchy feet again before too long. My door is always open. If you're ever interested, please ask Darbil to reach out to me. Darbil, we can continue discussions on the sponsorship once you've wrapped up today's show. I'm going back to the inn.
Thank you so much, Master Toos. I'll see you shortly. Seriously, Kaeya, thank you for bailing me out again. You're a good guy. May the gods bless you. You know, you should stay for a few more days. I owe you a meal at the very least.
Darbil, Asgar is back. He lost track of time playing Genius Invocation TCG. You've got to sort him out.
Genius Invocation again? Ah, that does it. That kid's not getting away with it this time. Please excuse me, Kaeya. I will be right back.
Sure, there's no rush. Okay, I think they're all gone. Let's slip away now while we can.
Oh, it's best if you don't stare at the sea.
All right, this should be far enough. Don't think they'll find me here. People were starting to expect a lot of things that I didn't sign up for. Besides, the missing actor is back now. Darbil shouldn't be needing me to stand in again. I don't mind socializing, but compared to chatting over food and drink, I much prefer just going wild on the stage. What about you? Did you enjoy the show? Oh? I was expecting a lengthier critique, but you've thrown the question right back at me. Sneaky. All right, I'll rise to your challenge. Let me think. All the world's a stage, and all the people merely players. Does that answer your question? Perhaps there's an inept god out there deciding everyone's fates, much like the academia student drafting Darbil's scripts. Yeah. Inept is a good word for it. Honestly, it might even be a little too civil to describe a god who turns fathers against their sons and is bent on endless warmongering, don't you think? Anyway, that's exactly why actors need to wake up and realize they don't have to follow the script. There's nothing to stop them from following their gut and making it up as they go along. Oh, my dear traveler, please don't take me too literally. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. The god is just a figure of speech. The real point I'm making is about the actors. Everyone, you and I included, is both an actor and a member of the audience. If you don't like the script, just walk off the stage and join the audience. You always have a choice. A little too obtuse? Well, don't dwell on it. It's nothing worth losing sleep over. I was just thinking aloud. Relax. Be yourself. Do your thing. That's all I'm really trying to say. When I did my little bit of audience interaction back there, you had no time to prepare. You had to just say what you thought in the moment. I think those spontaneous thoughts are often the most authentic. And that's why I liked your answer. You're still holding on to the intaglio I threw you from the stage, right? Keep it. Think of it as a souvenir from my improvised performance. It's been the most fascinating day, hasn't it, little birdie?
Gundafar, we are in the middle of a war. Your place...
A matter of utmost importance, your...
Outdoor theater. Looks fun. Ah, yes. Here's what I was thinking about the unused funds. Given that the acting Grand Master saw fit to allocate these funds to my trip in the first place, I think it's my responsibility to make sure that every last mora is put to good use. In other words, what do you say we find a way to spend the remaining budget? Perhaps a fancy meal at a nice restaurant? Or a river cruise that takes in the sights of Sumeru City? Or we could buy a few nice mementos to take home. Hey, no need to put it like that. Let's keep walking. We can consider it some more on the road. The rules of the Knights of Favonius state that any and all expenditures during a business trip are counted as travel expenses. That's more than enough justification to live a little. Of course, with me being here on my own, it was looking like a wasted opportunity. But now that I've run into you, why don't we make this a joint trip? You're always so busy. It's high time you gave yourself a proper break. Even the sharpest blade loses its edge if it's always in use. Regular maintenance is essential for reliable performance. And anyway, life is short, so we should make the most of the time we have. Right now is the perfect time to relax and enjoy ourselves. And who knows how many other chances we'll get. So come on, what do you say? Now I remember why you're an honorary knight. Of course being tempted by money is beneath you. Your honest character is dazzling to behold. Like the sunlight reflecting off the surface of Cider Lake in the late fall, I hold my hands up. My thinking was mistaken. In that case, I guess today's end-of-trip blowout is cancelled. I shall pack my luggage and prepare to return to Mondstadt. Oh? You'd do that for me? Well, this wasn't what I'd originally planned, but it's a very welcome development. When I was souvenir shopping, I picked out something for you too. Guess my thoughtfulness wasn't in vain. Let's keep that a secret for now. Not because I want to keep you guessing. It's just that I didn't think I'd run into you here. All my gifts are back at the inn. I want you to find out for yourself when you open it. The surprise is what gift giving is all about, is it not? Then it's settled. We'll leave together shortly.
Both quantity and quality.
Look, Mondstadt's windmills. Ah, such a comforting sight. Now, as promised, your souvenir. Here you go. According to the merchant I bought it from, mysterious spirits called Jinn often live in lamps like this. And this lamp in particular once housed a very powerful genie. Merchants love to exaggerate to help make a sale, but it's still quite the pretty little lamp. I know you like rare things, so perhaps you can add this to your collection. Of course, you can also use it as an ordinary pot. Personally, I think it'd make an excellent wine vessel. You're welcome. I'm glad you like it. I'm ready to head into the city now. You're free to join me, or you can make your own schedule. I could give everyone their souvenirs first, but I'm not sure whether I'm in the mood for running around and visiting people right after the long journey. Maybe I'll take a breather first. But I know I'll only get bored sitting in my room alone. Ugh. Do you have any suggestions? Yes, I suppose. Okay, souvenir run it is. They're mostly people you know, so it'll be a chance for you to say hi to some people you haven't seen in a while. Let's start by going to the Knights of Favonius headquarters. Jean and Lisa will definitely be there, and with any luck, we might run into a few others too. Hey, you two busy?
You must have had a tough journey, Kaeya. Oh, it's been a while, cutie.
Yes, welcome back, Kaeya. Why is the honorary knight accompanying you? I understand. Back to matters at hand, Kaeya. I have already received your report. You did well this time, thank you. A few days ago, we received a letter from the representative of the Wine Merchants Association in Sumeru. It was thanks to your on-the-spot decisions that further losses, due to continued delays, were avoided.
Just doing my duty. Anything to reduce the acting Grandmaster's workload. Oh, I nearly forgot. I have some unused travel funds. I'll return the surplus now.
Given the suddenness of the situation and the difficulty in resolving it, I authorized a greater than normal disbursement in case of unforeseen circumstances. But I didn't think there would be this much left over. Thank you, Kaeya.
Just doing the right thing. But I'm not actually here for a post-trip debrief. I brought some souvenirs back for everyone.
Souvenirs from Sumeru?
Here, the letter opener is for Jean, the jeweled brooch is for Lisa, and the items in the box are for everyone else.
The artistry of this is exquisite. Look at the ornamentation on the sheath. This must be one of those crafts unique to Sumeru. It's my first time seeing one in person. Thank you, Kaeya.
I love the color of the gem in this brooch, and the setting is so elegant. You have excellent taste, Kaeya. This can't have come cheap.
It wasn't too bad. I didn't spend too much.
Might I intrude a moment?
Albedo, is that you? Come in.
I finished the latest quarterly expenses report for the workshop. It's ready for your review. Traveler, greetings. And Kaeya, welcome back from Sumeru. I haven't seen you in a while. You two look like you're in good spirits.
As a matter of fact, the honorary knight and I traveled back from Sumeru together. Ah yes, and I brought some souvenirs for you and Klee. They form a set. Hold on, let me dig them out.
You're too kind. Klee has been constantly inquiring as to the timing of your return lately.
Since you weren't around, she thought you had also been grounded, and that it would be a long time before you could come out.
Children always have the most peculiar way of looking at things.
also been grounded? Sounds like things haven't been too dull for you all in my absence.
It's Klee's third time this month.
Evidently, you're not the least bit surprised.
No. On the contrary, what would be a surprise is if Klee ever managed to stay out of trouble for a substantial length of time.
Anyway, since my souvenir is part of a set with Klee's, there's no rush to give it to me. When Klee's next, released, I'll bring her to see you sometime. We'll collect our souvenirs together.
Sure, makes sense. Leave the surprise for the person who'll enjoy it the most.
I'll leave these documents here. I'll take my leave now, everyone.
Kaeya, I've approved your vacation request. Use this time to relax and unwind. Don't worry about the report and other work. I'll take care of it. You too, Honorary Knight. There isn't any work the Knights of Favonius require your assistance with at this time, so please take it easy.
Thank you. Then we'll be going now.
Enjoy your vacation. But don't forget to return the Fox and the Dandelion Sea series before it's due.
Don't worry, I'm nearly done with those. I'll be able to return them in a few days. I'm surprised Klee still hasn't escaped. I taught her a few tricks just before I left. Kids will always have their moments of mischief, but to be able to grow up without a worry or care in the world is something truly precious. Well, now that all the gifts for the Knights of Favonius are with Jean, next up is... Ooh, how about we visit the Dawn Winery under the pretext of delivering souvenirs and try to score some free wine? It's been a long time since I last saw everyone there. Plus, it'll be the perfect time to treat you to some of their newest brews. D-Luke should be there tomorrow since he has business to deal with. But then there's nothing scheduled for the day after tomorrow, so perhaps it'll be easier to get free wine then. What do you think? When should we go? Great, then it's settled. Let's meet the day after tomorrow at the front entrance of the Dawn Winery. You're more punctual than I expected. Let's head inside.
Master Kaeya? And the Traveler? Welcome, welcome. Please, come in. I'll fetch you both something to drink.
Long time no see, Elzer.
Yes, it's been a while, hasn't it? So what brings you back to the winery this... Sorry. Is there anything I can do for you?
No need to be so formal. I just returned from Sumeru and dropped by to see you all.
Ah, what a pity. Master Diluc went out to handle business last night and hasn't returned yet.
Never mind. The main thing is that you and Adeland are here. Oh, speaking of Adeland, where is she?
She's taking some time off. She was busy cleaning yesterday and finally has a bit of time to herself.
Perfect. I brought some gifts for you both. Here, this belt buckle is for you.
My goodness, it's exquisite. Thank you, Master Kaeya. I'll treasure it. Would you like anything to drink? We recently finished making a new batch of dandelion wine.
Well, what perfect timing. I was just wondering how this year's batch was coming along.
Let me fetch a barrel and have someone deliver it to the Knights of Favonius headquarters for you.
Oh, I won't be needing an entire barrel. A couple of bottles will be more than sufficient. Else Diluc might say I came here to beg.
Oh, Master Diluc might grumble, but he doesn't mean it. Anyway, let me fix you both a drink.
Much obliged. Then I'll have a glass of dandelion wine and a glass of cider lake for her, if you please.
The name is not that literal. It is a drink with virtually no alcoholic content, as Master Kaeya will be aware. I'll prepare them now. Please, wait a moment.
Strictly speaking, that's not entirely true. Cider Lake does have a tiny amount of alcohol in it.
Please, enjoy. Pleased you liked it. Looks like my bartending skills haven't faded with age.
How have you been recently? Is the winery's business doing well?
To tell you the truth, we've had our work cut out for us recently trying to fulfill some major orders. Things have only just started to quiet down over the last couple of days.
So, you've had no time off lately?
Master Diluc was concerned about the same thing. But with him being out on business for a few days, who would take care of business and the guests if I were to take time off? Maybe some other time.
At least take half a day to see a doctor and make sure you're okay. If your condition worsens, Diluc will never forgive himself.
You make a fair point.
If you're worried about having someone to handle the winery, why not leave it to me? I'm familiar enough with your responsibilities to cover for you for a while.
Master Kaeya, Please, come back to the winery more often. We all miss you very much.
All right. No need for that kind of talk. Come on, I'll see you out.
While I'm resting, I shall leave Dawn Winery in your hands.
Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Rest easy, and go see the doctor. Such great weather today. A calm breeze and delicious wine. This is quite the treat. Though, it's a pity this batch seems a bit bland. How about I go to the wine locker and fetch one from the reserve collection? I remember it's on the second floor. Of course it's fine. I promised Elzer I'd help. I said nothing about leaving the wine alone.
Sorry, I'm a little late to the welcome party, but I believe I just heard the words wine locker and reserve collection. Planning on pilfering a bottle of reserve, Master Kaeya? The reserve collection is reserved for a reason, you know. You should at least run it past Master Diluc first.
Oh, Adeland, surely you misheard. We were simply taking a walk around the house.
I see. Anyway, what brings you and the traveler to the winery today?
We just returned from Sumeru. It's been a while, so I thought we might drop by and say hello. And perhaps enjoy a complimentary drink while we're here. Surely you wouldn't object, Adeland.
How could I object? We're simply happy that you've come back to see us.
Oh, Adeland, I also brought some gifts for you all. This bottle of essential oil is for you. If you rub it on your hands when it gets cold, your skin won't crack.
Oh my! I can't believe you remembered something like that.
Of course I remember. You always took such good care of me when I fell sick as a child. In comparison, this is nothing.
You're all grown up now, and you don't get sick nearly as easily. You don't need me to look after you anymore.
True, I don't get sick as much. But speaking of being looked after, when I was in Sumeru, I did find myself and my stomach missing your cooking so terribly.
Oh, are you hungry? Would you like to eat something? You too, traveler. Please tell me if there's anything you'd like to eat.
Well, now that you mention it, I do actually feel a bit peckish.
Steak?
Oh, yes. A nice steak would really hit the spot.
Fragrant cedarwood grilled, medium, stewed vegetables on the side?
Yes, just like you always used to make. Thank you kindly, Adeland.
My pleasure. Traveler, I'm sorry I'm not familiar with your preferences. Would you like to come with me and select a few dishes? Grilling the steak over fragrant cedarwood infuses it with more flavor than pan-frying it. It's a favorite of Master Kaeya's. Since using an open flame to grill indoors is somewhat inconvenient, we usually set up a grill outdoors. It's perfect for grilling meat, but you can also use it to make stews. I can offer you a satisfying salad, cold cut platter, and anything stewed. What would you prefer, traveler? Okay, right away. Master Kaeya really likes stewed vegetables, but it takes the most time. So I'll start making that first, and then prepare your meal once that's underway. Of course! I looked after him and Master Diluc when they were growing up. He wasn't always such a complicated character. He was a gentle child, polite and very sweet. Boys, huh? The gentle ones grow up to be wild, and the rambunctious ones become quiet and reserved. At least that's my experience. If there's anything you don't understand about Master Kaeya and his antics, please feel free to talk to me about it. His temperament has changed quite a lot over the years, but he still has a lot of the endearing qualities I remember. Kaeya is much savvier and more mature than he used to be. Goodness knows he could be tricky to deal with. But let me share a few little tips. When he answers your question with a question, stop and think carefully about what he wants you to believe, and don't be led on by him. As for not knowing what he's up to, that's because he loves making up a good cover story. But don't let him get to you too much. You can take it from me. You were drinking a cider lake just now, right? Do you know why it's called that? The name was coined by none other than Master Crepus when he mixed the drink for Master Kaeya himself. They were adorable when they were young. One time, the winery was hosting a banquet, and Master Crepus strictly forbade Master Diluc from drinking. Master Diluc wasn't happy about that, and he convinced Master Kaeya to team up with him and sneak into the wine cellar to steal some dandelion wine. And how did I find this out? Because when Master Kaeya attempted to distract me, I could clearly see Diluc hiding around the corner of the corridor, gesturing to Master Kaeya to direct him through the whole thing. The Captain Kaeya of today never bats an eye when he lies, but he wasn't like that at all when he was young. Ah, goodness, how did I get into this? Anyway, they were discovered by Master Crepus in the end, and he was furious. He punished Master Kaeya by making him write lines, and Master Diluc was forced to clean the wine barrels in the cellar. The wine cellar had over a dozen large wine barrels to scrub, and Master Diluc was just a child. There was no way he could finish it all by himself. Master Crepus really meant to teach him a lesson. I'd originally planned to secretly finish off the work for him, but when I peeked inside the cellar, I found that Master Kaeya was already there. He and I finished scrubbing the remaining barrels. When Master Crepus saw that the bruises on Master Kaeya's hands were even darker than those on Master Diluc's hands, he instantly understood the situation. Master Crepus wasn't stern by nature, so to comfort Master Kaeya, he mixed him a drink and added a few drops of alcohol just so he could have a little taste. So you see, Kaeya was a gentle child, and never one to boast about the things he did for other people. Sometimes he'd even deny it if asked. His friends have a special place in his heart, even if he keeps this to himself. Kaeya's quite a smooth talker these days, but I can tell that his habit of quietly helping others hasn't changed. Ah, good. Okay, the stew is nearly ready, but the meat and the other dishes will need a moment. Please wait at the table. I'll be...
Drinking fine wine, eating Adeline's steak? Ah, now this is what I call a vacation. Oh? What has Adeline been telling you? So she told the good stories. Well, shucks. Now I'm embarrassed.
Food's ready. I hope you're hungry. I made a little extra, given how long it's been since you were last here.
Oh, we never imagined there would be such a magnificent feast. You've really outdone yourself. Why don't you sit and eat with us this time?
If you keep chatting away, the food will get cold. I'll wait here. Please call me if you need anything.
I'm afraid that just won't do, Adeline. I'm serious. We get together so rarely. Can't you bend the house rules just this once? After all, I don't live here anymore, so I'm just a regular guest. You aren't going to refuse your honored guest this small request, are you?
Since it's you, Master Kaeya, I see no choice but to honor your request. I know that us sharing a meal is a sign of our close relationship, but this is technically against the rules for a maid, so please forgive me for rebuffing you at first. I didn't mean to sound rude. Traveler, given how petty Master Kaeya can be, it must be hard for him to make friends. Does he have any friends in the Knights of Favonius?
See? I do have a way with people. And now I have her here to back me up.
Hello, everyone. Pardon me, but is this Dawn Winery? I'm Guangzhe, a guard with the Secure Transport Agency under the Leo Communications Office. Here's my card.
No wonder Elzer felt so strongly about staying. He certainly wasn't kidding about how busy it is. Mr. Guangzhe, a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
The pleasure is all mine. The Secure Transport Agency has worked with your fine establishment in the past, though we have only corresponded through letters. I always found it a great pity that I, the overseer of our cooperation, have never had the occasion to visit in person.
Why don't we go inside to discuss the details? No doubt the conversation will flow better with some of our wines to taste. Adelant, we'll continue our discussion later. Could you fetch some apple cider for the three of us?
Certainly, Master Kaeya. Please wait a moment.
And how might I address you, sir, as well as your...
Just Kaeya is fine. I'm standing in today for Elzer, who usually manages the winery's business. And this is my good friend.
A pleasure to meet you as well. I'm not just here today to pay a visit. I actually have an invitation for Master Diluc to cut the ribbon at a ceremony to celebrate our agency's business. Our collaboration with Dawn Winery last year was quite successful, and I was curious about your product shipment plans for the next quarter. If it's no trouble, please, also mention to Master Diluc that our agency has expanded this year, so if the winery has any additional needs, please, consider us.
Master Kaeya, the apple cider you requested.
Master? Wait. Pardon my foolishness, but might I inquire as to your relation to Dawn Winery?
I'm Master Krepus's adopted son, and Master Diluc's brother. However, as a serving captain with the Knights of Favonius, I am rarely at the winery.
My mistake. I apologize for not realizing earlier. I do hope I have not done you a discourtesy.
You may have misunderstood, Mr. Guangzhi. Though I am Master Diluc's brother, I don't actually live at Dawn Winery. I'm also a guest here today. I'm merely here receiving guests due to Elzer being temporarily indisposed. But please, don't worry. I will be sure to extend your invitation to Master Diluc.
Thank you for your graciousness. I knew the Dawn Winery's wines were delicious, but I am only now discovering how wonderful the apple cider is. It has a clear and inviting fragrance.
In addition to the apple cider, the winery has an extensive collection of reserve wines and liquors. I see you are also a connoisseur of fine wines, so it would be a shame not to sample some. Adelant, please fetch a bottle from the reserve collection in the second floor wine locker.
As you wish, Master.
Thank you again for your most gracious hospitality. Today's trip was very fruitful. Now, allow your humble servant to take his leave.
Please, it was a pleasure. Here's hoping we'll have a chance to share some more fine wines together in the future.
The guest has left, Master Kaeya. It's no skin off my nose. Master Diluc may have a few choice words when he learns of the situation, but that's all. All I really wanted to say is, you will always be a part of the Dawn Winery family, Master Kaeya. I have never considered you an outsider. No matter when, if you ever feel tired, you'll always be welcome here.
I understand, Adelant. Oh, now this is a busy day. Who's at the door this time?
Hello, everyone. I'm back.
Now that was fast. How are you feeling?
The doctor said there was nothing to worry about. I just need some rest. But on the way back, I met someone who was looking for Master Kaeya.
Kaeya! Shh! Klee's here to rescue you! Come on! Let's escape! Ah! Miss Honorary Knight! Are you grounded with Kaeya too?
Grounded? Yes, Albedo was saying something about that. Sumeru was fun, but it can't compare with Mondstadt. So here we are.
You two must have done something to make Jean mad, but that's okay. Kaeya has rescued Klee loads of times before, so when Albedo told me you came back, I went and said sorry to Jean. Kaeya, you're free now! We can go play together again!
Oh, if my memory serves me correctly, this child is...
This is a fully qualified Knight of Favonius, Klee.
Hello, miss. I'm Klee. We're sorry. Please don't ground Kaeya.
What?
I really need to take Kaeya and Miss Honorary Knight away so we can go find Albedo, Sucrose, Amber, and everyone else and play together.
I see. Hello, Miss Klee. You needn't worry. Master Kaeya's grounding is long over.
See, Adeland, you don't need to worry about me. I have lots of people to care for me now.